Dakota's largest private college. Now, let's catch up on the action and excitement of Augustana Athletics as we roll our Augustana Sports Update for this week.
Last Saturday, Coach Tracy Hellman's Augustana men's and women's cross-country teams competed successfully at the NCAA Division II Central Region Championships held at Yankton Trail Park in Sioux Falls. Paul Yak won the men's race and led the Vikings to their second consecutive region title. Augustana ran away with the championship as they scored 37 points, with Central Missouri a distant second with 115. Other top finishers were Tom Carbo in third place, Adam Braun 10th, Harold Carbo 11th, and T.J. Gleason 12th. In the women's division, the Augustana ladies claimed third place, led by Kristen Braun-Bow's second place finish. Both teams now move on to the NCAA National Championship meet, which will be held in Spokane, Washington, November 23rd. In volleyball, Coach Ashley Buckley's team picked up a pair of home NSIC victories as they edged MSU Moorhead 3-2 and topped Northern 3-0. With the victories, the Vikings upped their record at 20-6 overall and 12-6 in NSIC play. Senior Holly Halfmeyer had a career-best weekend as she pounded down 24 kills over the two matches. In the MSU Moorhead win, Courtney Yesker and Kayla Walrick both had 20-plus digs, while setter Marissa Johnson dished out 60 assists. In the big win over Northern, Courtney Yesker had a fifth consecutive double-double performance as she had 15 kills and 12 digs. In football, Coach Jerry Oshevsky's team dropped a hard-fought 28-24 battle at Winona State. Augustana outgained Winona State's high-powered offense with 332 yards compared to the Warriors' 285. But the first half turnovers and some tough breaks proved too much for the Vikings to overcome. Dejan Newell led the team on the ground as he gained 65 yards in 13 carries. Quarterbacks Trey Hyde and Justin Heinrich, who both sustained injuries in the game, combined to complete 17 of 32 passes for 213 yards. Wideout Grant Gebhardt also got in on the throwing mix as he found Nick Lee for a 31-yard touchdown strike. Dejan Newell and C.J. Ham also scored touchdowns for the Vikings, and Ben Albrecht added a 27-yard field goal. On defense, Augustana recorded 3 sacks in the game as they were led by Brandon Moore with 12 tackles, including 3.5 for loss and a sack. In women's soccer, Coach Brandon Barkas's team dropped a first-round NSIC playoff game at Winona State. Alicia Oler-King tallied a goal for the Vikings, who finished the season with a record of 10-8-1. Seniors Maren Worth, Katie Hurd, and Kara Bartles were selected to the all-conference team. And in men's basketball, Coach Tom Billiter's team came out on the short end of 2 tough Division II games at the new Sanford Pentagon. The Vikings fell 65-64 to Missouri Southern and 75-63 against Central Missouri. Over the 2 games, sophomore big man Dan Jansen led Augustana with 37 points and 16 rebounds. Sophomore Casey Schilling also had a strong pair of games as he scored 36 points and grabbed 22 rebounds. Against Missouri Southern, senior Yuri Malashenko tallied 10 points and collected 11 rebounds. In the Central Missouri game, freshman point guard Matt Brazendale added 12 points. That's our sports update for this week. When we return, we'll talk Augustana football with Coach Jerry Oshevsky. Stay with us.
Augustana Sportscene is brought to you by Sanford Health, improving the human condition, and by Mid-Continent Communications, the connection that counts. Augustana Sportscene is also brought to you by Life Touch, photography for a lifetime, and by Graham Automotive, real service, real value.
So if we offer health insurance, employees can't do that marketplace thing?
Well, no, because we pay enough of the premium, I think.
You think?
I don't know.
Well, who does know?
I'm not sure.
They know.
Sanford Health Plan offers health insurance options for any size business. We can even make sense of all the changes going on in healthcare today. Make it simple on yourself. Click SanfordHealthPlan.com.
Sanford Health Plan.
This is simple.
Have you noticed more and more fees showing up in your account with your bank? Take a look at your statement. You may be surprised. At Sioux Empire Federal Credit Union, the only surprise you'll find is how few fees there are. Imagine applying for your next loan or setting up your account with the peace of mind that as a member owner, you call the shots, including what fees to charge. So why let extra banking fees gobble up your money? Get your account and your loan from the place you own.
Sioux Empire Federal Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA.
Hi everybody, I'm Bill Gross, and with me now is Augustana head football coach Jerry Oshevsky. Jerry, last Saturday afternoon the Vikings traveled over to windy Winona, Minnesota to take on the Warriors. Played ourselves a great football game, but unfortunately came out just a little bit short in that one, 28-24.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a really good college football game. Back and forth, both teams playing hard. Pretty physical tilt. It was a good old slobber knocker. There was some guys, a lot of stoppage of play with some injuries because it was a physical game, and I thought our kids played really well. Some key turnovers and some punts that hurt us a little bit late in the game really was the difference in that one because our defense played extremely well with the exception of a few plays, and our offense moved the ball with regularity.
Well, let's start with the offense. We outgained Winona, a very high-powered offense, and it was a good day for the offense.
Yeah, it was. You know, we had some third down things early on. We had too many third and long situations, which was one of our things we really tried to emphasize all week, being productive on first and second down. But with that said, we had some drives of 60-plus yards 3 times and moved the field, flipped the field, if you will. And got in the end zone finally. We scored every time we were in the red zone. I'd like to see a touchdown rather than a field goal on that last opportunity when we were down there, and probably is a difference in the game. But with that said, I thought our kids did a good job of flipping the field, moving the field, and scoring in good opportunities on some longer scoring drives.
Well, the Vikings pulled out a little trick play and had a nice touchdown pass from Grant Gebhardt. And talk about that one.
It's one we've been working on for several weeks now. It's just the outside zone reverse pass play, and I was waiting to them to bring their safety down off the shelf a little bit and play the run, which he did the play previously, and thought it was the right time to make the call, and it obviously was. Nick does a great job. Grant gets it out of his hands. The whole line blocked really well, and thought he out-threw him at first, but Nick closed the ground on it and then took on a hit at about the 5 and got in the end zone. Big play for the Vikings.
It was. The quarterbacks for the Vikings got banged up a little bit as we sustained injuries to both of them, but they hung in there and we had a shot.
Yeah, we did. We had the ball for the win with 9 minutes left. We're up 3, I'm sorry, at that point. And that's a young football team that at that point right there you gotta eat up that clock and have an opportunity to get into scoring range, even if it's a field goal. But we didn't. We had 6 and out. I think we moved the ball for 30 yards in that scenario, and then had to punt. And that hurt us at that time. And our defense has been so great all year. That would have been one time to stand up and make a great stop. And they had one big play in that drive and kept 2 third downs alive on a missed tackle and a missed interception on that drive that they score on. But our kids have played so well. I was proud of how our kids fought. It's a good football team at Winona. They had some tough losses early, but they're balanced on both sides of the ball. They're good players. So it's a win we should have had on the road, and one that we'll definitely grow from in future years. I told the kids in this league, when you go on the road, you gotta outplay people, and I thought we did, with the exception of the scoreboard, and that's why statistics really don't matter. It's that final number that really counts on your schedule.
The defense was again outstanding. Talk about them.
Yeah, and people, it's misleading. You see 28 points on the board. They had a huge run in their first drive. A young man Chichi bounces the play to the outside, and we just misfit it. And they had one scoring drive to win the game. That scoring drive right there. With the exception of that, I think we had 4 consecutive 3-and-outs and another 3 consecutive 3-and-outs after that. So I thought our defense gave us every opportunity to win the football game. Put them on a short field once with a 3 times. Once with a turnover, another 2 times with a punt, and we responded well on the one and held them to a field goal opportunity. So they're just playing well. They're playing hard, and they're banged up over there a little bit too. Our whole football team at this point going into game 11 is pretty nicked up. We didn't have a healthy offensive lineman walk out of the game either. So it's grin and beer it right now in the last week of the season. These kids got to want it more than Southwest is.
It's that time of the year. What about special teams?
It played pretty solid. Yeah, we did. We had a good special teams day. The Greenway boys, the twins, will again be special teams players of the week for us. They did an exceptional job on coverage. I thought Gabe punted the ball really, really well, with the exception of the last two. He just didn't get it off his foot well and shanked it a little bit. But besides that, he did really, really well, and kickoff units were good, and our coverage alignments and our returns were actually pretty decent. So our special teams, with the exception of the USF game, have been really good all year, and we pride ourselves in that, as you know, and that's part of a winning formula that we believe is going to lead to some future success for us.
That's been great to see. Well, on we go here. Game number 11, as OJ said. Very good offensive Southwest Minnesota State football team comes into Kirkaby-Over Stadium on Saturday. It's senior day, last game of the year, last home game. Coach, what's up?
Well, it'll be tough to say goodbye to these seniors. Those kids have been through a lot of transition, and they've hung in there. They've believed in us. They've played their tails off, so it'll be tough to see those kids go. But Southwest is talented. You know, they're racking up yards, and everybody. They're winning games when opposition is getting 700 yards a game. Very talented offensive unit, and not a bad defensive unit at times as well. We're going to be challenged for sure. You know, we lost that Wayne game at home, and with the exception of that, we're unblemished at home. So we want to make sure that we leave KO the way we started, and be a tough place to play. We'll see what the environment's going to be like with the weather and everything else, but you know, our kids are motivated to play. They were on Saturday, and I look forward to it.
Coach, it's going to be a good one, the last one. Fans, get over to Kirkaby-Over Stadium Saturday, 1 o'clock, cheer on the Vikings. Good luck, Coach, to you and your team. When we come back, we'll catch up with Augustana volleyball coach Ashley Buckley. We'll be right back.
Even a high-efficiency dishwasher can't remove spots from your glasses if you have hard water, but a Culligan high-efficiency water softener can. It saves you up to 46% on operating costs. For 100% beautiful glasses, just say, "Hey, Culligan man."
Joining me now is Augustana volleyball coach Ashley Buckley. Well, Ashley, last weekend the Vikings got home to the friendly confines of the Elman Center and got themselves 2 big wins. It started out on Friday night with a battle against Minnesota State Moorhead, but we came out on top 3-2.
Yeah, we definitely battled hard with them. Every time we've played them, it's been back and forth. You know, a big win and then a big loss, back and forth. So major momentum shifts in that match. But we were excited to get the lead right away against them. You know, despite being down at times, I felt really confident in our ability to score against them. We had some great offensive performances. Felt like we were in system enough to be able to win matches, or to win the sets. And so I was proud of our team. We had a lot of fight. Even when we were down, we kept our heads up, we kept going. And that's what we have to do to win in this conference, so we're excited about it.
Then on Saturday, a big match here Saturday afternoon against a team we're battling for a number of things, home court in the playoffs, but probably more importantly into the region. 8 teams qualify. But we took care of business, Coach, 3-0 over the Wolves.
I think I was most proud of the girls' approach in this match. Certainly they could have felt like there was a big target on their back since we were 1 ahead of them in the region, but they were nice and relaxed going into it. They took advantage right away of just getting some momentum. They were excited to play, and we had an awesome performance from a couple of our front row players. Holly Halfmeyer had 8 kills per set on the night. Courtney Yisker was a huge threat for us as well. Thought Kelsey Kaufman blocked well all weekend. And serve receive, we were at a 2.4. So I was just really proud of the collective effort. I think overall Marissa Johnson had one of her best weekends as well. So girls felt great about it. There's no better way to celebrate your senior night than coming out with a 3-0 victory against a great team.
Super wins for the Vikings, stepping up here at home to get a couple of big wins. The Vikings get back in action actually here on Tuesday night of this week, which is before our show runs the first time on Wednesday, against a very good Southwest Minnesota State team, so catch up on that one through the media. But then the final matches of the season are coming up Friday and Saturday, long road trip up at Minot State on Friday night, University of Mary on Saturday.
Yes, this is an important weekend for us. Clearly we want to win as many matches here in the final stretch. But Minot has really a lot to play for right now. They're trying to get in that 8th seed for the conference tournament. They've had a great season. They have a really athletic and strong hitting outside, so we really need to prepare for that match. And then Mary's just looking to get a great win, and so we need to make sure that we're prepared to play. You had mentioned it's a long road trip, so you got to try to keep the team refreshed and ready to go on that trip. But we're excited to play, and I certainly feel, coming off of this last weekend, that we have the confidence that we need to finish the season on a great note.
Fans, you need to stay tuned to see where the Vikings are playing next week in the playoffs. Begins next Wednesday night We could be at home, we could be on the road, just depends. Last question, Coach. Regional rankings came out last week. The Vikings are in there. Your thoughts at this point?
Well, we were 8th in the region as of last week. We'll see where we're at this week coming off of our Northern and Moorhead wins. But it's really tight. The best way to get into that regional tournament is to win. And so we're just going to continue to focus one at a time, not try to look too much at the big picture of it, but just try to take care of our business. It's going to come down to splitting hairs, I believe, at the end of it. Having served on that committee, I know that it really does matter who you play and who your wins are against and who your losses are against. So we can't look too much at that right now. We're just trying to stay focused on the conference tournament since that comes up first.
Well, Coach, good luck with the matches coming up here. And when we come back, we will catch up with one of the best at Augustana, cross-country champion Paul Yak. Stay with us.
I was nervous for picture day. My mom let me pick out my outfit. She said, pick wisely. I stood in line with my friends, and then it was my turn.
Next.
There were big lights and a backdrop, and the picture lady said, wow, nice smile. And then there was this poof. I really like my picture.
So, do we stick with your health insurance or go with mine?
Is your office even keeping its health insurance?
I don't know. What about that marketplace?
I'm not sure how it even works.
This is painful.
This is complicated.
This is simple.
Sanford Health Plan offers affordable health insurance options for individuals and families. We can even make sense of all the changes going on in healthcare today. Make it simple on yourself. Click SanfordHealthPlan.com.
Sanford Health Plan.
This is simple.
We're back, and with me now is outstanding Augustana cross-country and track athlete, Paul Yak. Paul, great to have you on Augustana Sportscene. Folks, if you've followed Augustana cross-country and track, you have seen this guy run, and can he run? We're going to get back to that here in a little bit, but to begin with, pretty interesting life for Paul here. Very young, and family came to the United States. Talk a little bit about that.
We moved here when I was 8 years old, just war reasons in South Sudan. So I've been in the U.S. since 2000, but moved around a lot. Now ended up in Storm Lake.
Yep. So graduated from high school in Storm Lake, Iowa, not too far from Sioux Falls. Why did you choose Augustana?
I came for a visit, and when I came for a visit, it was actually weird. There was nobody here. They were all gone for me, but I met a couple of the distance guys, and we just kind of hung around, and I knew the team was good and was going to be good. Like, they were on the uprise, so I just wanted to be part of that, and I knew Tracy knew what he was doing, so I ended up here.
Well, we're sure glad that you came, and have you had a career. Let's talk a little bit more about that. This guy's won conference championships. He won the regional championship last week. Let's talk first about the team. How do you feel about this year's team? We're heading toward the championships. Think we can win it?
I think this team, when it's all said and done, will definitely be one of the best in Augie's history. I think this team is really deep. We have a lot of great runners. Heading into the championship, we're really confident. That was a good region win, good team win, and I think if we show up that day on November 23rd, we can win it for sure.
Well, it's in Spokane, Washington, fans, so watch for this guy and the Augie Vikings. Paul, folks probably don't understand a lot about cross country, a lot of people. Man, you're out there and you're running. First off, how do you prepare yourself? And then what's going through your mind as the race develops?
I think to prepare yourself, it's cross country and running is a lot of, it's a mental sport. I think you got to mentally prepare yourself. The physical side just comes with going to practice and getting the workouts done, but it's just being mentally ready and being confident in your training, and you just go out there and run. It's something we like to do. So
I notice you when you run, you're kind of glancing back every once in a while. I find some runners do that, some don't. You kind of like to know where the pack is or where people are?
I like to just know my surroundings. Like, where whenever I look around, it's usually to see where the rest of my teammates are.
Okay.
We like to run together as a team, so if somebody's falling off, I like to look back, bring them back into the pack. But yeah, I just like to know my surroundings.
Well, you're a fantastic runner, and it's been great to have you at Augustana. Last question here. What's your major, and what are you thinking about doing?
My major is business communication, sports management. I don't really know what I want to do right now, but I think coaching is in the future for sure.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I'm sure you'll be a good one. Good luck to you and the Vikings here at Nationals. And when we come back, we'll catch up with Augustana women's basketball coach Dave Krauth. Stay with us.
Drives the lane, baseline pass to Williams. Williams shoots, gets up, he scores. Tie game. We are going to bring the ball up court under pressure. Long pass inside to Montgomery. He spins. The shot is up, and it's a 20-foot jumper from the 5'11" sophomore forward.
Our heritage is rooted in the gymnasiums of every town, big and small, throughout the region. For this reason, Sanford Health proudly presents Heritage Court at the heart of the Pentagon.
Ooh, child, things are
Hey,
gonna
buddy.
get easier. Ooh, child, things are get right.
Hey, buddy.
If your life flashes before your eyes, make sure it's in an IIHS top safety pick. That's the power of German engineering.
Welcome back, and with me now is Augustana women's basketball coach Dave Krauth. Well, the season gets on rolling here this week as the Vikings take on Jamestown on Saturday night. We'll talk about that here in a minute. But Coach, practice has been going on. You've been trying to get that team ready. Talk a little bit about your ball club.
Well, I noticed it again this year where the rules have kind of been liberalized a little bit over the last couple of years, which gives us a little access to our kids in the fall that we didn't have back in the day. And with 6 freshmen this year, I thought it was kind of time we needed. So, you know, we've had, a full fall and preseason and I think enough time to get us as ready as we will be on opening weekend. So whether I've got some of my questions cleared up, I don't know. Right. You know, it's we're pretty solid 1 through 15, but then sometimes, we don't really have kids that separate themselves from the others.
Yeah, we'll talk about the old-timers first.
Well, I think a couple of faces that you will recognize, of course, Emily Schulte and Shantiva Ashley at the guard, and that'll be our strength, I think. Riley Norgard, who played considerably off the bench last year, we'll get as many minutes out of her as we can. And then from there, I mean, most of the faces will be ones that people either used to seeing on the bench or something, but we've just got Sophie Kinney, I think will give us considerable minutes at probably a backup guard, Alex Nealon and Sydney Rome, kind of wing type players, and then we got Rihanna Gullickson and Katie Meister, who I know will give us plenty of minutes, and we have several freshmen too, who we haven't mentioned that probably will get in the mix at times.
Well, it's going to be interesting, fans. You're going to have to be checking that program on Saturday night when you get over here to make sure you know who they are, but we have some talented players. Coach, talk about Jamestown. What do you know about them?
Well, I think this will be their 9th game in our opener. And that part sometimes can maybe alarm you a little bit. They're very talented. They've been a real strong NEI program. I think will be preseason they were highly ranked, but I think they'll be a top 10, whenever the next NEIA ranking comes out. Beat Concordia last weekend of Nebraska. Concordia was picked to win the GPAC, on the road, and so they'll be very talented. Got an All-American little waterbug point guard that will be chasing around. So it may be one of those games that their style is our style, and it'll be up and down the court and might be a fan's delight.
Yeah, there you go, fans. Get over to the Elman Center Saturday, 6 o'clock for Jamestown. Then, Dave, on Tuesday, we come back right away against William Penn.
And William Penn would be a school that, isn't on most people's radar. They were also a preseason, top 20, 25 NEIA team. Last year, as an example, they went into Concordia and beat Concordia up in St. Paul. So those teams will always scare you. Looks like they play a lot of guards and will try to disrupt and be a different style than maybe, NCAA Division II team. So we'll have to see. It may be similar in some respects to the Jamestown situation where both teams are going to want to go. I don't know, but he knows they can go in places and win. So it'll be another challenge.
Well, it'll be fun to get things going for the Augustana ladies. So Dave, good luck to you and your team. When we come back, we'll check out the Augustana sports calendar for this week. Stay with us.
Some are new.
I'm Marissa from Minot.
Some have been with us for a while.
Welcome to Grand Forks. I'm Steve.
Yet no matter how long they've been with Mid-Continent Communications or where they work in our region,
I'm Dean, Bismarck, North Dakota.
Mid-Continent's 1,300 employees have a few very important things in common.
Hi, I'm Bob from Watertown.
They really care about your experience as a customer.
Welcome. I'm Julie from Mitchell, South Dakota.
They're committed to delivering exciting new entertainment and communication services.
Hi, I'm Erin from Sioux Falls.
And they believe that community service, from building houses for the homeless,
Jennifer from Fairmont,
to organizing events that bring whole communities together,
Hi, I'm Cole in Bemidji.
is just as important as providing great customer service. Because connecting people, no matter how we do it, is something we truly enjoy. Mid-Continent Communications, the connection that counts.
Let's take a look at the Augustana sports calendar for this week. Friday, November 15th, volleyball on the road at Minot State. And wrestling has big action at the Elman Center with 3 duels. At 3 o'clock, the Vikings take on Morningside. At 4:30, they wrestle Shadron. And at 6 o'clock, Division I Air Force hits the Elman Center. So get on over to the Elman for wrestling action on Friday. Saturday, November 16th, volleyball, second road game of the trip at the University of Mary in Bismarck. Wrestling back in action at the Dakota Wesleyan Invitational in Mitchell. Football, final home game against Southwest Minnesota State. Senior day at Kirkaby Over Stadium, kickoff 1 p.m. And women's basketball gets their season rolling as they take on Jamestown College at the Elman Center at 6 o'clock. Tuesday, November 19th, women's basketball back in action again against William Penn at the Elman Center at 7 o'clock. And then looking ahead to Wednesday, November 20th, it's the NSIC volleyball tournament at sites to be arranged according to record. Augustana could possibly host a home match at the Elman Center at 6 p.m. So stay tuned for further details on that. And men's basketball is in action. Right now it's scheduled for a 7 o'clock game against Presentation at the Elman Center. But if we have volleyball tournament action, that will push back to 8:30. For radio coverage of Augustana football and men's basketball, you can hear the Vikings on KIKN FM 100.5 and worldwide on KIKN.com. And the Augustana women's basketball team's games are on KXRB AM 1000 and worldwide at KXRB.com. And Augustana athletic information. Remember, for complete info on Augie Athletics, go to our website at goaugie.com, where you can also get discount tickets to home athletic events at goaugie.com/tickets. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again next time for another edition of Augustana Sports Scene. So long, everybody.
You have been watching Augustana Sports Scene, a weekly review of Viking Athletics at South Dakota's largest private college. Learn more about Augustana College in Sioux Falls at augie.edu.